I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Rejoice.
Yes, I thank you. I give him all the glory, the honor,
and the praise. Yes, sir.
You need some noise on the free hand.
Okay. Thank you.
Do we know what game?
Okay.
Let's go outside. We'll talk outside.
Okay, I'm gonna get my stuff from my car.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, I'm here. Sorry. All right. All right. Okay.
Y'all ain't no good. Y'all don't know what y'all doing.
Stop laughing. Give me
They
some
don't
time.
know what
What you think
y'all
about the verdict, man? What do you think about the verdict?
Well, let me tell you about the verdict.
Be brief now. Be brief.
Okay, brief. The verdict was a foregone conclusion from the time that liars put together a lie to try to hurt a grandmother and try to hurt a black woman who has been representing her community for over 18 years. So it was a foregone conclusion when they came up with this trash. They spent our money on this mess for no reason at all, and we need to let the world know we tired of them destroying poor people with this law thing they got. The law was why Jesus came, because these fools had taken the law and disturbed it to the point that it was as ridiculous as it was with this thing.
Thank you very much, Zach.
God
Thank you
bless
so
you,
much.
man.
Thank you. Anybody else want to say
Quit
anything?
crying, girl. Go on, eat some bologna and be done.
Come on, you. God bless you, sister.
John, my God, my Most High God.
Praise God.
And he kept telling me he was going to bring me out.
Praise the
He
Lord.
kept telling me he was going to bring me out. God is a God of his word.
Yes.
You just stand on him and do what's right.
All
Lord,
right.
I thank you today.
Yes, God bless
My
you.
children can stop worrying about it.
Oh, amen.
Lord, I thank you. I can spend time with my grandchildren in peace. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for all my supporters. Oh, Father, I thank you. This was nobody but God today. We had some righteous jurors today.
Yes, yes.
We had some righteous folks up there.
What you gonna say about your attorney? What about the attorney?
Oh, yes, and my attorney.
What's your attorney
My attorneys, Attorney Mark Loudon Brown, Attorney Sarah Garrity, Investigator Miles Shaduri, Hannah, and Kate. Everybody was awesome transporting people. I know Kate is tired. Cause she went to Douglas twice today.
Where's your hotel room?
Days in, y'all can follow me. I don't know the street is on.
So who we going? Where we going?
Sarah, Maya, get her. May not.
What do you think about this verdict, my brother?
I
love it. That's all you love it? All right.
That's Maya. That's Maya for the address. Right.
What do you think about the verdict?
Not guilty.
All right. What do you think about the
I
verdict?
think it was long overdue, not guilty. We had to come to a whole nother county to get justice. We couldn't get justice in Coffee County. We had to come to a whole nother county to seek out justice because the people in our own county who my mama helped and who she fight for, they don't see it. We had to come to a whole nother county to seek out justice, to seek out a not guilty verdict. We came, she came, she saw, she conquered right here. Right here.
And let me ask you a question. And though the judge did not let the Get To Free press into the
He wouldn't allow the
courtroom,
press to come in and see the truth, be televised. He wouldn't allow it to come in.
and now that it's over, is there any news media here other than the Get To Free press?
No
So
news
do you
media.
think there's a possibility
This
that
needs
they
to
didn't
be on-
want this?
they
They
didn't
didn't want this on 6 o'clock news. They didn't want this on 11 o'clock news. Can I say that?
You can say it, brother.
And it's a shame. It's a disgrace, a high-profile case like this, and no news media here but the Ghetto Free Press. And then they got a lot of ugly names they want to call me. But I'm going to continue to keep you informed because you got a right to know.
Hey, brother,
Isn't that right, Zach?
Yes, sir. You got a right to know it. I can attest to this. One of the things that we're going to do as an extension to this, as an extension to this, is that we are honoring probably the greatest black leader that has ever existed in the United States of America. Ever. His name is Tunis Campbell. We have his birthday on April 1st every year. This year we're having it in Glenville, Georgia, because that was one of the places that he, don't do it.
You keep talking.
That's one of the places that he was a senator, represented that area in Tappan County.
And when that going to be again?
March 31st, 1 o'clock.
Saturday.
Saturday
What
at the
time?
Hen House,
What
1
time?
o'clock. 1 o'clock.
You don't know the address, do you?
Well, it's,
send that to me. Email it to me.
Okay, I
You'll
will.
get it.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Excuse me. What do y'all think about the verdict? Now just say great. I'm just.
We ain't counter like that.
I'm not just.
Go ahead, sister.
You know, okay, that's good. Okay.
We just know that the truth prevailed in this matter, and that God was able to do what man couldn't do, and he came out with the truth and set her free.
All right, thank you so much.
What set her free.
Thank you. Oh, excuse me. Can I get y'all to see? I just want y'all in the video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. What do y'all think about the verdict today?
I am overjoyed.
Overjoyed. And you gave a little short testimony, did you not?
Yes, character reference.
Yes, sir. And you said you're a retired captain?
Retired lieutenant colonel.
I knew that. I just wanted to hear it again from you. And you all drove all the way over from where? Brunswick. And let me ask you another question, my beautiful sister over there. Why is it that there was no news media here? Do they not want the news published?
I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure they
You're
don't want to
here.
hear about it.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. All right.
I'm pretty sure they don't want to hear about this.
All right, y'all take care. Thank you so much. Good seeing y'all again.
Let God bless the racist city of Jessup.
Douglas, Coffee County, somebody said earlier, lady said a few minutes ago that it's a shame they had to leave Coffee County to come to another county to try to get justice because they couldn't get it there in their own county.
Yeah.
Isn't that sad? Thank you so much.
Good night.
What's your name once again?
Bill McNutt.
And you served your country well, did you not?
I tried.
Name the wars you say with the conflicts that you served in.
World War II,
Yes, sir.
Korea, and Vietnam.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for your service, my brother.
Sometimes we get our meals paid
welcome.
for by people that don't even know it.
What'd you say now? What'd you say?
If he wears his hat,
Yeah.
sometimes he gets his meals paid for.
Isn't that beautiful? All right, y'all take care now. Zach, I know you're a veteran,
Yes, sir.
but I'm asking you this question because I was in the courtroom. No other news media was there.
That's correct.
But I really want you to say what I just heard you say it here, this group of us celebrating the victory of this commissioner who God used
Yes, sir.
to show Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp
Yes, sir.
and the rest of those in the clique and among the slicks
Yes, sir.
what God can do.
Yes, sir.
God just wanted to show them, just like all these other people that they brought up on charges,
That's
bogus charges, I might
That's
add.
right.
But you said something. I want you to say it again, and I want you to say it in your own words. Who represented this commissioner, and how did they get to Coffee County? Just start at the beginning and tell us because if somebody is willing, if an organization, whether the NAACP is willing to stand up, but they need to be known. Come on with it.
Yes, sir. We have a relationship with the Southern Center for Human Rights. And that center is absolutely one of the only pathways to hope for justice in this state. The state of Georgia is absolutely vulgar in the way it treats its citizens in terms of justice. When we were first in the courtroom in Douglas, and we viewed the things that was happening in terms of her representation in that particular trial, we knew that we had just escaped by the skin of our teeth. So when the trial was over, the first thing we did was made a beeline and said, Southern Center for Human Rights, Sarah, Gerald, all them other folk up there with them bad people on that little narrow street in Atlanta, Georgia, we needs us some help. I'm a Gullah Geechee. I crack of the teeth to play dumb to get smart, but I ain't stupid. We went running to Atlanta, and Atlanta come running to us. And today, because of the work that the Southern Center for Human Rights did in this case, it pointed the way to justice for a whole bunch of things happening in the state of Georgia. Yes. It wasn't the NAACP.
That's what I was about to say. Go ahead. Yes, sir. It wasn't the SCLC.
It wasn't SCLC.
It wasn't SNCC.
It wasn't SNCC.
It wasn't the Congressional Black Caucus.
No, sir. It wasn't the Congressional Black Caucus.
Wasn't Al Sharpton.
No, sir. It was this particular group of people who made a decision that they were going to take on this injustice, and they know they set the stage because the rumps of this world had made a decision that they were going to set up all of these cases through Brian Kemp and the Secretary of State's office and the Attorney General of Georgia, that what they were going to do is bring up all these fraudulent charges about voter registration for intimidation in the black community. And thank God for the Southern Center for Human Rights.
Woo, there it is! Woo, there it is! That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you. Thank you, Lord.
Miss Pearson, is there something you would like to say?
I just give God all the glory. I thank my team of attorneys, Southern Center for Human Rights. This lady took time out of her day on a Sunday.
Yeah, I remember that.
Going down to Florida. Where were you headed?
I can't remember.
You go. But she called me and asked me if I'd meet with her on that Sunday morning, and we went and had dinner, lunch, and called me back a few days later, said, we'll represent you. We want to represent you if you'll let us. And I said, most definitely.
What?
And I tell you, I just thank God. God has been in this the whole time, because it was nobody but God that put them in my path. Nobody but God. Nobody but God. And my supporters to stand by me. I just give God all the glory. Thank all of y'all for what y'all have done.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Leela, let me say one thing.
Yes, sir. Okay.
I want to give a special thanks and special recognition to the McNutts, okay?
That's true.
Yes.
They have been with
Stand
us.
together. Stand together.
These folks here.
Thank you.
No, for real.
Didn't do it.
Thank
No,
you, Bill.
but think I want to give a special thanks.
Yes, y'all did.
When we first
Y'all did a
introduced
lot.
you to them,
Turn on this way, and they was to the meeting.
when we had first introduced the McNutts to you,
Yes, sir.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Uh-huh.
okay? When she first saw you, Bill first saw you, heard your story, we had our gathering in Brunswick, she fell in love with you and she wanted to do any and everything. She worked the hell out of me for 3 days straight. 3 days straight she worked the hell out of me. We got to go see Bill Olivia.
But I'm going to tell you something else. I'm going to tell you something else too.
All y'all support.
The testimony of this colonel and that preacher, it sealed the honesty deal. Okay?
It did.
And I'm going to tell you something. That little slick boy from Mark, when he used you as a grandmother up there, it was over.
Okay.
Mark comes from the best law school in this country. NYU, not Harvard.
Okay.
Not Michigan State.
Hey, I went to Michigan.
Well, Michigan is one of those.
Don't mess up now. You're doing good. But don't mess up.
But the thing that happened in the state of Georgia, the crooks all come from well, I can't say that no more.
The University of Georgia.
Because Gerald told me that he went to the University of Georgia. So I got to clean up my act with that a little bit. But when you have the team that you have coming from other law schools, from around the country like NYU and Michigan, and maybe Harvard. I wouldn't trust Harvard myself, but Howard. Okay, when you come to these kind of law schools, you have a different mindset. Georgia, the University of Georgia, if you ain't Gerald Weber, they have Confederate tint on how they view the law. Okay, it's just like Negroes in the Bible. They view the Bible through the theology of slavery, the master's way of you thinking and praising God. Okay, I don't teach that shit. I teach liberation theology.
I've been dragged across the desert in my bare feet, with no food or water, with nowhere to sleep. Been ridiculed and abused, wrongfully accused. What more can they do to me? What more can they do to me? I've been locked up with no reason why. Had to look straight into my enemy's eyes. Been stripped from my head to my toe. Nobody seems to know. What more can they do to me? What more can they do to me? unknown. What more can they do to you? What more can they do to you? And they told you to go back where you come from, baby, come from, baby. But you chose not to react. You chose to stay strong, baby, stay strong, baby. And when they take everything away, still forgiveness you pray. And what more can they take away? What more can they do to you? What more can they take away? What more can they do to you? What more can they take away? What more can they do to you? What more can they take away? What more can they do to you? What more can they take away? What more can they do to you? What more can they take away? What more can they do to you? What more can they take away? I've been dragged across the desert in my bare feet, with no food or water, with nowhere to sleep.
Good morning, council. Would y'all like to go ahead and take care of this charge matter now, or y'all want to do that after the conclusion of the evidence? Either way is fine with the court. Mr. Collins, you like to go ahead and take care of it? Yes, sir. Okay, that'd be fine. One preliminary thing, Mr. Rhymes.
Yes, sir.
Can I see you up front, just real quick? We'll take it a minute. Good morning. How you doing? We'll take a lunch break, things of that nature. Will you, at that point, when I take the break, will you immediately stop filming? I just don't want to film people's casual conversations right now. Okay, that's no issue. Thank you. No problem. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Your Honor, based upon 19 years of doing this, there's no way I'm going to violate that court order.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, have a nice day. With that, court is adjourned. Everyone have a nice day.
This is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rhines, and I just received the breaking news that we have a new mayor in Quitman, Georgia. Much like the Quitman 10+2, Nancy Dennard being the first president of the Brooks County Board of Education, and now we have James Brown III, the first Black African-American mayor of Quitman, Georgia. First of all, we acknowledge that black does not make it right, but right always make it right. We must understand that the Quitman 10+2 brought Brooks County the first black majority in the history of that county. And as you know, the Quitman 10+2 was brought up on charges of alleged voter fraud, and after nearly 3 years, only one have had their day in court, and it ended up a mistrial. With all that has happened, with all of the complaints, with the elections in the past and identified problems at a particular meeting on July the 17th, 2012, highlighted major problems with the Brooks County Board of Elections, yet Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp were informed through formal complaint forms, given a DVD, among other detailed problems. And until this date, the people of Brooks County are still awaiting a response from Georgia Secretary of State and Glenn Austin, who was an investigator that came down from Macon at the bequest of the Secretary of State, yet nothing has been done. Moreover, the meeting was a total whiteout, and very little to nothing was done. This is the Ghetto Free Press, keeping you informed, because it is in time. It is indeed time that the people in South Georgia know the truth. To James Brown III, thank you to all your family that came down from New York and other places to congratulate you on your victory. As a graduate of Washington Street High School myself, From Brooks County, I say to you as the Muslims say, Alhamdulillah. And to the Jews, I just say shalom to you. And as the Christians, I say peace and blessings be upon you and to all the great worthies that help you in your campaign.
The witnesses lied on the stand.
Yes, yes, yes.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation lied on the stand.
That's right. Yes.
Falsified documents.
That's right. Yes.
The Secretary of State lied on the stand.
Yes, yes, yes.
Boone from the post office, who started this whole mess, lied on the stand.
Yes.
All to try to make these citizens look guilty. Good evening, how you doing? Good evening. First of all, I'd like to say that we commend the Pittman team plus 2 for the way they handled themselves. It was just the thing about it that was so beautiful is that it was all of us. And we had a wonderful team. Sister Lewis Yard, Nancy Denner, Mrs. Simmons from Atlanta, and Attorney King. They made those people look like amateurs.
Amen. Woo!
Let me give you a little background. But I'm so thankful to the Pittman team plus 2 that they did not take a plea bargain.
Amen.
Amen. If they had been convicted of one crime, that would have been a felony on their records, and they would have been messed up for life. My prayer to God was total exoneration. Innocent on all counts, and God brought us through.
Sure did.
I want to give you a little background. On December 2010, 10 citizens of Quitman, Georgia were arrested and accused of voter fraud. These citizens was arrested, unceremoniously put in orange jumpsuits, their names splattered all over the newspaper, the television, the radio, And this was only an indictment. An indictment is only an accusation. But yet these citizens were presumed guilty before there was even a trial. Amen. And we must understand that every citizen is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. When they was arrested, we thank God for the community that came together. And the first meeting was held at Bethlehem Church. We thank God for Bethel for opening their doors. I was a pastor there. We also like to thank our good friend Floyd Rose. Stand up. God always have people in place when you need them the most.
Amen.
He is a stalwart in the civil rights movement. He knew what to do. He even named the equipment 10. Amen. He showed us how to get this movement organized. And we thank God for him. He's from the SCLC. Amen. We thank God for them and Tyrone Brooks coming down and helping us. Also, during this movement, the NAACP was started here. And that was to, there might be future cases that might come up, and we'll have an organization in place to make sure we can handle this situation. Now, the United States Constitution guarantees each person equal protection under the law. The United States Constitution guarantees that every person of our nation is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. The rights of these citizens were violated. Amen.
Yes, sir.
And what angers me so is the fact that Sister Latasha Head died with these accusations hanging over her head.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
yet there are still, with her, 11 people that still have to be tried. This case has been going on for 4 years.
Sir.
Now, you have to understand one thing, and that is, every person is entitled to a speedy trial. Their rights was violated. Now, why did it take over 4 years to bring these people to justice? It's because they didn't have a case.
Right.
Amen.
That's right.
They didn't have a case. They were hoping that they would take the plea. But when they didn't do that, they had to prove their case. And if you were in the courtroom,
That's right.
you would have seen one of the biggest fiascos you ever wanted to see in your life.
Oh, yes.
That's right.
Oh, yes.
The witnesses lied on the stand.
Yes.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation lied on the stand.
That's right.
Yes.
Falsified documents.
That's right.
Yes.
The Secretary of State lied on the stand.
Yes.
Boone from the post office, who started this whole mess, lied on the stand,
Yes.
all to try to make these citizens look guilty.
My Lord.
But thank God that we have a God who sits high.
Come on now.
and he
Yes,
looks
sir.
down.
That's right.
Yes, Lord. Yes,
Lord.
Lord.
That's right.
The sad thing about this case is Governor Deal, who's the leader of the state of Georgia, left the state capital to come down here and suspend people who were elected to the school board.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
This election was certified,
Yes, sir.
and without due process of law.
That's right.
Every person is entitled to due process of law.
Yeah. That's right.
But he's put it upon himself to suspend Dr. Nancy Danner, who has a doctor's degree.
Yes, sir.
Sister Diane Thomas, who has a master's degree.
Earned.
And Sister Linda Troutman.
Yes, Lord.
They treated us like, you got excuse me for saying us, because I feel I was just as angry as they were.
That's right. That's right.
Every citizen in Brooks County should have been angry.
Upset.
Come on now.
Yes, sir.
For the way they treated our citizens.
Yes, sir.
But yet many people didn't get involved because, number one, you thought they was guilty because the white man said they was.
Woo! There it is! Woo! There it is!
Come on now.
That's all right.
That's it. And you're scared.
Come on now. That's it. That's it.
My question is, how are you going to get the horse back into the barn?
That's right.
These people's names have been tarnished, their reputation besmirched. They have been talked about, accused of different things. And now they are proven innocent. How are you going to get the horse back in the... How will you restore these people good name and reputation? How are we going to do that? We need to look at that and see what we can do to help them restore their good name. One thing that most people didn't understand, and I'm getting ready to close, were that when the G.B.R, the Secretary of State, canvassed the community, they tried to strike fear in the heart of the black community.
Woo! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
They didn't want you to vote.
That's right.
They especially didn't want you to vote absentee because those absentee ballots can be accounted for.
Yes, sir. Paper trail.
This trial proved that there was corruption downtown.
That's right.
If it wasn't for the absentee ballots, it never would have been uncovered.
That's right.
Many people don't understand that when those incumbents were declared the winner that night and woke up and had lost the election that next day, it's because they didn't intend to count the absentee ballots.
That's right. That's right.
But God prevailed. Amen.
Amen.
The prosecution changed the wording on the ballots to prosecute Lula Smart. The language was not there in 2010. They changed it.
My Lord, my Lord.
That's right.
On the ballot to make it look like she was guilty. The prosecution suppressed evidence.
Yes, sir.
They hid evidence.
Show they did. I'm a witness.
Amen. Show them. Speak it. Tell the truth.
I believe that we ought to demand, as concerned citizens, that they drop the charges on every remaining member. What's so amazing is that Sister Danner and all of the workers on the pole had been trained. They knew what to do. But yet they tried to make it look like they were incompetent. But God prevailed.
Amen.
Few of the fallacies of this trial, and then I'm going to sit down. And I don't know about you, but I got angry when I looked. I didn't even vote absentee ballot that time. And here come the G.B.R. and the Secretary of State knocking on my door.
Wow.
Wow.
But one thing that happened that most people understand is that you all shut them down.
Amen.
Amen.
You all shut them down. When you told them that we're not going to answer your question, we voted who we wanted to vote for, I did what I wanted to do, get out of my yard.
Woo, there it is.
We don't have to be afraid no longer.
All right. Amen.
It's so much I could go on, but I'm going to
Tell the story.
Jesus.
I'm going to yield. But there were so many fallacies. And I hope and pray that we all learn a lesson from this.
Yes.
That we're not going to let anybody come in our community and disrespect our people. These were the leading citizens of our community that they went after.
Amen.
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 If the head falls, the body, you kill the head, the body gonna die. But see, they didn't know Nancy Denner, and Nina, and Diane, Miss Sharpman, and they didn't know.
They didn't know.
But I knew from the beginning, and that they were innocent from the start. I don't know about you, but I grew up in the 50s. I was born in 1952. Amen.
Amen.
And I know the tactics of the other man. They'll do anything to win.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
But I want to say to you and to all of the people who prayed and supported the Quitman team. I know some of you wanted to be there, but you had to work. I know some of you could have been there, but you chose not to. But thank you for your prayers. Thank you for just putting them up before God.
Amen.
And allowing God to use them. Whether you know it or not, God used them.
Yes. Yes, he did.
There was a gentleman that called me from San Francisco, and he said, "What in the world are y'all doing out there?" He got on our organization, the NAACP, because they didn't come here. I'm angry because the president of the NAACP didn't show his face.
Tell it.
And I'm angry.
Tell it.
Now he's writing all kind of articles. Want the Quitman 10 plus 2 to come up there and talk. Where was he when they needed him the most? That's a little bit of the history, and I'm going to close with this. The Get Out the Vote campaign of the Quitman 10 plus those who helped was the most brilliant campaign I have seen in my life. People voted who had never voted before in their life.
Amen.
People who couldn't make it to the poll. And they got beat at their own game.
Come on, man. That's right.
Amen.
Amen.
It was a brilliant campaign. It was well planned, well organized. And many other communities are looking at what the Quitman 10 plus 2 did. And they're doing the same thing in their communities.
Of course.
So we say Quitman 10 plus 2, don't stop doing what you're doing.
Right now.
We're fast getting a new council. I told one of the white gentlemen that he was wondering how did the mayor get beat. And I told him that everybody who touched the Equipment 10.
Look out, man. Look out! There it is!
I don't know about y'all, but you ain't gonna mess with no.
This is the Get To Free Press, and we report what others ignore. This is your First Amendment right to know without whiteouts from a controlled news media whiteout network. And we are located in Valdosta, Georgia, and we are here to inform, educate, and persuade if necessary. Always keep that in mind. Moreover, I want to say to you that as a community, state, nation, and world, we are not who we claim to be, but who we prove ourselves to be over a given period of time. And if we are a liar, time will tell. And if we are a racist or a hater, time will tell. And our righteous and holy God already know. So you are only fooling yourselves. Again, the Ghetto Free Press. I'm George Foster Rice.